Good evening. The problem with this whole woke thing is that these illiberal hard-left bullies who are seeking to destroy free speech and peddling toxic ideas like critical race theory and gender ideology claim to wear the cloak of kindness. The fig leaf behind which they hide is being nice. Amazingly, these vicious thugs have managed to monopolise the moral high ground. But be clear that the be kind crowd are anything but. I tweeted this out on Monday and it went viral. I think it touched a nerve. I tweeted the following: woke people aren't very nice, are they? Now, I loved putting this tweet out because it brought the most delicious, ironic responses. In other words, a stream of shocking, personal and threatening abuse from the aforementioned Be Kind community. It started gently with this beauty. Do you really enjoy being a total jerk, or is it just for the money? This wag came back with, "We're lovely, Mark, just not towards," and then a horrific swear word. But another tweeter dryly points out the irony of this attack by saying, "Point proven right there." I love the internet. I guess it's pretty woke to support the RMT and the nurses as they go on strike. It makes you a nice person, even though the economy is shot to pieces after the bonkers experiment of lockdowns, which cost us north of £500 billion. I don't recall any of those backing public sector pay rises criticising lockdowns at the time. Now, I'm sure the rail workers deserve something. The government have offered 8%, which sounds generous, but it's been rejected. How quickly they forget that they were bankrolled during the pandemic when trains didn't run at a cost to every household of £600. And the nurses deserve something too, but 19% is having a laugh. So in both cases, the cause may be worthy, but the actions far from it. There's nothing woke or kind about the RMT deliberately striking over Christmas. Don't forget, the last 2 Christmases, people haven't been able to properly meet up with their families because of those wretched COVID measures. This is the first chance for people to travel the country, hug Granny and indulge in some much-needed seasonal cheer. Surprising, therefore, that the Be Kind woke crowd aren't condemning the cruel timing of these strikes, which is devastating for families and hard-working Brits desperate for a Christmas break. Not to mention the impact on our already punch-drunk economy. It's the same with the nurses. I admire what they do day in, day out. Who doesn't? And they've been through hell during the pandemic. But to down tools for the first time in 106 years, adding to the NHS's traditional winter crisis, made worse, of course, by a self-inflicted waiting list of 7 million, is pretty unkind too. We're told nurses will not man A&E departments, intensive care units and other so-called non-urgent departments on the 10th and 15th of December. I believe that this tone-deaf strike at the worst possible time of the year will be very damaging to the reputation of our nurses, especially if patients suffer, which they will, and if patients die, which tragically they will. Not very nice, that, is it? Not very woke. Hashtag be kind. Any fiscal concessions squeezed out of the government by nurses or train drivers after what amounts to blackmail won't be forgotten quickly, especially by Brits who have the temerity to get ill or have an accident on the 10th or 15th of December, when hospitals are running a skeleton service. No pun intended. These strikes will stick in the craw of those on low pay in the private sector too, who, unlike those striking, didn't have a secure job, sick pay or a gold-plated pension in the first place. The strikes will hurt ordinary people, they will hurt families, they will hurt the economy, and they will cost lives. No one denies the nurses or the train drivers a fair deal, but what they eventually gain in their pay packet, they risk losing in public support, and that's not very nice either, is it?